Hello and welcome to the video. Last episode I took a look at one of the reasons what people say when they explain why they don't want to try Linux, and that was their dependence on Adobe products. And now I will address another topic, which is the lack of games on Linux. So I know that a lot of AAA titles are not available for Linux, even though like Steam Play and Lutris are there, so there are some options, there are some effort taken to bring these titles to Linux, even if they are officially not made for the Linux operating system, only for Windows or Mac OS. There is some effort to port these games or make the compatibility layers for these games. But what I am going to look at today is open source games, so games that are free software by the definition of the Free Software Foundation, so liberated software, because, you know, why not? I guess if you are serious about wanting to have an open system, then why don't you take a look at the games that you can have on your open system without compromising that. So let's take a look at the games. So this is a ArchWiki page, which is about the games that are available in the Arch repos, either in the AUR or the official repositories. So there are a lot of games in different categories here. Then there is also a Wikipedia page, list of open source video games that can be a good source for that. There are different categories. So some of the games are totally free, so both the code and the program itself and the artwork is licensed under very permissive licenses, which means that anyone can basically do anything with these. There are games which are open source, but the content is licensed under some proprietary or more restrictive Creative Commons license, which means that the code itself can be modified, but the artwork is protected by copyright. And there are also the open source remakes, which is one of the games I play regularly. Is OpenXCOM, is a remake of the old XCOM game, which basically uses the proprietary artwork from the original game. There is a similar one for like Red Alert and the Morrowind. So these are also categories. For these you have to have the original game, because it uses the proprietary artwork from the original game. So, okay, I have to tell you, I am not a big game connoisseur. I am not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination. So when I stream my shenanigans with the OpenXCOM, the UFO game, that's almost all the gaming I do on my computer. So I am not the biggest authority on this, but anyways, stay with me until the end of the video, because we will take a look at some very interesting open source projects for gamers. Okay, so let's take a look. So our first candidate for today's video is Freeciv, which is available from the official Arch repositories under the name Freeciv. And well, this is a remake of the Civilization 2 game. So let's take a look at this. So this is basically a GTK application. And so I have to record the screen, because otherwise it will just open new windows, and if I just try to record a window, then those will not be seen on the video, so excuse me for that. So this game, basically you can like start your game, you can you have a lot of options to customize your game, actually, like what the map should look like, what the sociological rules, what economical rules, military rules of the game. And what is very nice about it is that you can connect to network games, so you can host. So there is also server. So this is based on a server client architecture, so you can host your game on like a internet computer, and well, you can play this. So let's take a look at my saved game here. So this is a start. Let's start. Okay. So let me get this in the view here. So this is the GUI of the game. So if you think it's ugly, then I'm with you. This user interface is ugly. It it is basically like reminiscent of Civilization 2. But what my problem is that, so if you end a turn, all these, like, the enemy units move very fast, and you have to read through these messages to figure out what actually is going on. Because even if your soldier gets killed by the enemy, you really won't see it properly on the map. And now you have to check out, okay, we learned writing and we are doing bridge building, so research tab opened up here, and so you can try to figure out your way out through this not really pleasant looking technology tree, but I guess it looked like this in the original Civilization 2, but I don't remember, to be honest. You can, go into the cities and everything. Basically, all these things, they just open in like different windows. So it is, well, probably like they did not focus, the coders themselves did not focus that much on the user interface. But to be honest, I like this game, and the reason I like this game a lot is because here there is a community called the Long Term community who are using this Freeciv game to play online games where one turn is 1 day. They modify the rules so the units can take like 3 times more steps, I guess, than in the original rules. So the game is not that sluggish, but 1 turn is 1 day, so you don't have to spend too much time on this game. And I really enjoyed playing this when I was changing countries, because this was kind of the thing that I had some continuity before and after moving. I started playing a long-term game before moving, and then after I moved, I finished the game. And there is like a good community. This guy Weeder, he was there that time too. Seems like he's still there. He's one of the moderators of this community. He usually plays East Germans. I like this game. It is ugly as hell. Even, if you consider that the date is 2019. This is not a pretty game, but it serves its purpose. So let's take a look at some other games. So after the strategy game, let's take a look at a simulation game, Pioneer, which is available from the AUR. So there are 3 packages in the AUR: Pioneer, Pioneer Bin, and Pioneer Git. And so this one is almost a year old, and Pioneer Git is only a few months old. But Pioneer Git, when I tried it out, it did not work. The save games crash the game. Like, some of the save games work and some of the save games not. So I strongly suggest you to try out the regular Pioneer AUR package, and let's take a look how it looks like. Okay, so this is how Pioneer looks like. This is the main menu. So this game has some extensive lore about 3 different factions, and based on those 3 factions, you can start the game on Mars, which is easy setting, and New Hope is like a medium setting, and Bernard Star is difficult setting. So I of course tried out the easy setting with Mars, and so let's load one of my autosave games. So let's see. Let's see this one. So basically we are landed somewhere, so we can look around, like our ship is there in this platform. It's very dark, it's nighttime. We can check out our personal information here, like what missions we have, and we can pick up new missions on this list. So you can see that the user interface is not really up to 2019 standards, I would say. Especially like, take a look, this is you. And this is the person you're talking to on Mars, or wherever we are. So we basically, you can undock, you can fly in this game. Oh, how do I want to look forward? Am I looking backwards? I'm looking backwards. No, I'm looking forward, I guess. So you have to use like two hands to navigate, because left hand you use to engage thrusters, and the right hand you use to change like the orientation of the ship. But to be honest, you should not fly. So if you have a destination in mind, you should not fly manually, because it's just a pain. So here you can basically select, I want to go to Mars High, so click right click, and no, you don't see it because of my face. So there is this list in the right hand corner. You can take a look at your ship from outside anyway. How do I close this one? I don't know what happened here. Anyways, let's say Mars High, let's go there. Anyway, so we are flying. You can use the mouse to change the viewpoint, look around without changing the orientation of the ship. And you can use the arrow keys to look like left, right, forward, backwards. For some reason we are on the night side of Mars, so it's not really pretty. This is a very slow game. You can speed it up, of course. You can request like 10 times, 100 times, 1000 times. So this game, basically I started in like the solar system, and what I was doing is just transferring goods from Mars to Earth and Earth to Mars to collect money. Basically you can get those kind of missions, and well, that gets you money, and I guess in later phases of the game you can buy new ships, you can upgrade your ship. That means you can transfer more cargo and earn more money, and then you can buy you can go through like hyperspace to other star systems. So this is solar system map, we have a galaxy map. We can take a look at the system map. So this, you can see where in the solar system each planetary body is. This game has a full Newtonian simulation of everything. So if you try to fly by hand, that means that once you like accelerate it and have a speed, that your inertial speed stays the same. So you will have a really painful time trying to figure out where to fly exactly. Just use the autopilot. So now we are near Mars High, which is this orbital platform. So we request docking and tell the autopilot to dock there. So let's go there. If you fly interplanetary, you will have to speed things up, but the game sometimes does not let you to speed things up as much. So this is a game which you should play in windowed mode while reading the ArchWiki, I guess. The look of these space objects is not bad. So if you always wanted to be like an astronaut, but you are afraid of flying or something, this game can be an interesting choice for you to just try out flying in space, and with an autopilot it's just doing some clicks and then waiting for things to happen. Okay, I think this is way too much time on this game, so let's skip to the next one. So the next game we are going to take a look is a free FPS, which is first-person shooter, AssaultCube, which has a free software engine based on the zlib license, which is considered by the Free Software Foundation a free software license, and the content is licensed under some kind of Creative Commons license. This is also in Arch repositories, AssaultCube, and well, it says it's realistic environment and fast arcade gameplay, much like Counter-Strike. Well, it looks like Counter-Strike, but let's take a look at the game itself. So when you start this game, you are in an empty map. Oh. So you can just, there is no menu screen or something, you are just dropped into an empty map. Okay, let's press escape and then you can use your cursor keys, I guess, to move through. You can play like a deathmatch or team deathmatch with very stupid bots on a very small map. And let's just go around with a shotgun, I guess. Oh, I killed a bot. And now I was killed by a bot. So this is basically, it looks like these old Counter-Strike games. And well, I used to play a lot of like old Unreal Tournament with my sister when I was younger. And well, this game reminds me of that feeling, but with realistic weapons. And what is really nice is that they have like a server with games playing on. So if you are just kind of want to jump in to play something, you can find some of this green, so there is low latency hopefully. And well, let's just see how much I can do with 0 first person shooter experience. What the hell is this map? There are huge chairs everywhere. Oh, I have to go up. What the hell? Okay, this map is very surprising to me. Maybe I should not be playing shotgun. I can change weapon here. Oh, submachine gun. Well, that will be a better choice. So maybe this weird map is not the best to show this game off. So let's just disconnect from this server and go to this is kind of a painful because you have to do everything with the keyboard here. So yeah, oh, this kitchen's special. Okay. This is like a more regular map, I guess, but is there no one else playing it but me? It's a deathmatch, and I'm alone. There's not gonna be much death there, I guess. Okay, I really got unlucky here. But I guess you get like a feeling of what this game is. Are there any... Why is every game that is no latency or low latency have no players in it? Okay, let's check this. This is capture the flag. Okay, now I'm just... Okay. I am on the blue team. I cannot. Oh, what a game. Okay, so I think you get the gist of it. So let's go back to strategy games. Battle of Wesnoth, which is open source, free turn strategy game, high fantasy theme. So first look, I thought it's gonna be kind of like a Heroes feeling, but it's not. And actually this game has like a creed where they try to make it as much modable. They want a lot of user feedback and user contributions. So there is map editor, you can make your own campaigns and you can make custom units. You can they are awaiting your contributions in other ways too. So let's take a look at this game. So Battle for Wesnoth. It has beautiful starting screen, and so let's just load up a saved game here. So this is how this game looks like. So I am the red team against the blue team, and basically I have like a leader, and if the leader is in the barracks, I can recruit new soldiers, or it's like a campaign, so I can recall my experienced soldiers from the previous scenario of this campaign for a little more money. And newly arrived units cannot move in this turn, but others can. And there are these houses, I have to take over these houses to get like additional income, and also these houses help me heal my soldiers. I can attack the enemy, kind of the attack back. Sometimes these units can have like a melee and a ranged attack, so the enemy have to attack back with the same type. So here I can see that my spear is more deadly than its sword, but my javelin is not better than its bow, so it's a better idea to attack with melee. And alas, I killed the enemy. So you can see that this man can take over the village, so this village is mine. This unit cannot move now, but I can just tell, okay, just move, go there anyways, and it will go in the next turn. So if I end turn, the enemy is also calling in new units. It attacks me, enemy units are moving towards my units. They are attacking me, so my horsemen cannot use ranged attack, so when it's attacked by a ranged attack, it's defenseless. Oh, bad. Really bad. Anyway, so this is like the kind of the gist of this game. I try to like weaken it with that unit and then try to attack. This one, horseman, is just too sturdy for me. Can I just attack this? Okay, this enemy is very sturdy. So this is kind of the gameplay, and so this is a turn-based game. So if we go back to the main menu, what is really nice about this game is that in the multiplayer mode it has a local game mode, so you can just play it with two of your friends, or like one of your friends, or you can play it with more. Oh, what did I do? It also has a server, so you can play it on a server if you have an account, which I don't have. But anyways, this game looks very good. The gameplay is very cool. It's very enjoyable. I tried a few easy scenarios and it was fun. So let's move on to the last game on our list. So the last game on our list is called Zero AD, which is a historical based real-time strategy game based on the Age of Empires series. And just a look at this website, if it loads, will tell you that this is something really interesting, really good, something beautiful. So let me start up 0 AD here for us to enjoy. Come on, work! So this is the main menu. Just look at this. Just look at this. After the Freeciv and AssaultCube and Pioneer, I feel I at least got into 2010. At least 2010. So let's load up a game. These screens are just look. So this is the game. This is legit how the game looks like. Look at these buildings. Look at everything. Look at these units. Okay, maybe you should not zoom in too much because then whatever. Hey woman, go pick up berries. Hey soldiers, go look around. Who are you? Oh, this is a deer. You can look around. You can use your soldiers to. Oh, there are two other. Look at this. The reflections on the water. Wow, this game is beautiful. So this is an open source game. So I left the best for the last. This really looks like to me no worse than the Age of Empires games I played 10 years ago. So maybe the new Age of Empires games are better. Okay, there is a problem. They are building a defense tower there. We try to disrupt the economy here. We also have to disrupt them building the defense tower. So let's kill those guys. Kill those guys. And when the enemy is, well, yeah, too much enemy. Let's get out of here. We need more soldiers. And then you can use your women to get more food. Hey women, pick berries. So this is, the women cut trees there. Look at this. Okay, don't zoom in too much. But this game looks good. You can make sheep. You can... People, don't walk through the field. Oh my god. Stupid people walking through the farmlands. Okay, so... Look at all this. Look at this beauty. Look at these reflections over there. Look! 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 Look at this. Look at this. Okay, I'm telling you to look at this a lot. So... Let's resign. Yeah, resign. Yeah. So this is great game. It has multiplayer functions. I never also, but you have to go to the game lobby, for which you need an account, which I did not do. Anyways, this is what we have for today, I guess. So I showed you what I got. I showed you a few games I tried out recently which are open source and free software. So as a conclusion, I would say that if you are like a big time gamer who wants to play like big games, then well, probably you will have to still buy the AAA titles from big game companies. But if you are just a casual player who just want to waste some time, then I think it is reasonable to say that you can find some open source games for your liking. So I am myself more like a strategy guy, so that's why you've seen 3 strategy games here and just 1 FPS and just 1 simulator. But those are also interesting things for me. So I mean, if you told me that the only FPS I can play for the rest of my life is going to be AssaultCube, that would not be a big hit for me, I would say. Even though, you know, that game is not like really, not too pretty. What I would say as the biggest problem with this open source game is the lack of like the story-driven campaigns or things like that. So the Wesnoth game, that one had the story, different campaigns, those are usually like short campaigns. 080 doesn't have a campaign, for example, even though it's like a very amazingly made game. It seems like it was not like the first priority. I really don't know how much story is there in Pioneer yet, because I've been just flying between Earth and Mars, and those are just in the same faction, so I did not have any opportunity to encounter the story in those, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours I played. But in general, if you just need something to waste some time, or maybe you want to set up a computer for your kid and you want your kid to have some options to play, and you don't want them to have the proprietary software, which, well, I'm not a father myself, so but I guess that if your kid really is your kid really into games, then this would probably not be sufficient for them. But you know, whatever. I think for me these open source games are fine enough. So if you have any more suggestions of open source games I should take a look at, leave them in the comments. If you want me to take a more deep look into one of these games even, then you can tell me your opinion, and I will try to follow up on those. And anyways, just give a like if you like this video, and well, subscribe to the channel for more free software and Linux related content. Hopefully some more technical tutorials are also coming up soon, and I will see you next time.